keep it moving. One of the best comedians in town, one of the South Side's finest. Please get loud for Marci Deloney!
Hey, give it up for your comedian. Now, normally, when I come on stage, I usually come out to Brick House because it describes me perfectly. 36, 24, 36, in reverse, 63, 42, 63. Yep, I used to be a brick house, and now I'm more like a crack house. Now, honestly, I have not been on this stage in over 10 years, ladies and gentlemen. Woo! So I'm making a comeback in comedy, and just Saturday, I'm on stage, I get off, there's a gentleman waiting for me at the bottom of the stage. He hands me his card and invites me out to LA, ladies and gentlemen. LA Fitness, he was a personal trainer. So I'm out here hustling comedy, you know, lost a really good job. Man, by round of applause, anybody ever lost a really good job before, like a really good job? Thank you, it's cool. The only thing I hate about that is that you can't buy the same things you used to be able to buy when you had a good job. And we're gonna be family for the next 5 minutes, and I'll tell you this. Like my sanitary napkins. Like I used to be able to afford always, now I'm wearing sometimes. I went from eating, I can't believe it's not butter, to I hope this is butter. That purse you saw me carrying, that's an assistant coach. So now, besides comedy, I actually worked for the AIDS Foundation of Chicago in helping homeless people. It's my job, my new job. And I think it was like the stupidest interview, because the first thing he asked me was like, well, Marci, we just want to know, it was like a panel of people. And this is just the way I answered it. He was like, now, why would you like to come and work for AIDS Foundation Chicago? Why do you want to help the homeless? I was like, so I won't be homeless? But they put me in some of the worst neighborhoods. Like I was over in Humble Park and Inglewood. So I told my friend at church, I was like, girl, I don't know if I want to do this job because they got me out here bad. And she was like, well, Marci, see, what you need to do is pray. And all you have to do is ask God to let his angels ride with you, which was cool until we went to Inglewood. I prayed that prayer. I came back, the angels were still in the car. They was like, oh, this ain't our area. And you know you in a bad neighborhood when the lady on the GPS changed voices. I was going to the west side, deep west side of Chicago. I put the address in, the girl was like, shit. Girl, are you strapped? So I am an empty nester, ladies and gentlemen. My children are 35, 32, and 30 years old. Woo, baby. And I could not raise any of these millennials. I couldn't do it because I'm old school. Like all these different diseases that they have out now, ADD, CSI, NYC, ADHD, LMNOP. We didn't have that in the 70s and 80s, ladies and gentlemen. It was no such thing as a tutor. Remember the belt? Like the belt just got your mind right. You know, helped you with those fractions. And a lot of you guys were probably raised off mom and dad, right? 2-parent households. Me and my brothers, we were raised off cigarettes and dark liquor. My mother was so bad, ladies and gentlemen. When my mom died in 2000, we did Ancestry.com, traced her back to the original gangster disciples of Chicago. Because we feared our parents. Remember how we feared our parents? Like I said, all the different diseases. And my mother, she had a cigarette in her mouth and never would break the ash. We never did understand that. She had a real deep voice. And I was just imagining, what if someone told my mom that I had ADD? Be like, oh, you know, Miss Benson Marci has ADD. She'd have been like, yeah. She won't have that shit on Monday.